Hey there, I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate.
And today we're taking a look at Monopoly Target Edition by Hasbro Games.
Everybody everywhere has heard of Monopoly. But this new edition, this Target edition, which as you could guess is only available at Target, puts a new spin, a different spin on the regular classic Monopoly game. Monopoly gets a bad rap for a lot of things, and for good reason, too. It's not a great game.
I think we use it as our bashing game a lot of times.
A lot of times we do. But with this new edition, as I mentioned, it puts a new twist on it. It changes some things up. In fact, you're no longer purchasing real estate. You are on a Target run, purchasing items through different sections of a Target store, all in hopes of trying to get the most savings. Let's take a look at it down below. We'll come back, share our thoughts on this one, and compare it to all the other different versions of Monopoly out there. All right, so here's Monopoly Target Edition. Let me show this game to you guys and let you see the components and explain to you what are some of the major differences between this edition of Monopoly and traditional Monopoly. So in this, you are going to have everything Target. Target's logo, their brand, their bullseye dog is going to be on just about everything that you see in this game. And so in this, you are going to play as either the coffee cup here, which let me have you take a closer look at that. And obviously it has the Target logo on it. Or you can be the shopping bag. And these are made out of metal, solid metal here, so very nice. You got the cart. And last but not least, you have Bullseye the dog, which Bullseye the dog is very top heavy, and so he's kind of hard to stay upright, unfortunately. So you might not be playing too much with him. Tends to fall over. And you also have these really kind of nice shopping baskets, which are extremely important throughout the course of the game, as you are going to be shopping in Target. This is not buying property or trading real estate. This is you are on a Target run and you want to get the most savings. That's how you win this game. Your savings is kept track using these tokens over here, which are essentially victory points. And you do have regular Monopoly money in this game. It does have Target's logo all over it. But you do also have a Target red card in this game. And I guess if you wanted to deluxify, upgrade your component here, you could replace this with your own Target red card. I would not recommend doing that, but you could if you wanted to. Anyhow, that is another component in this game. And as you can see, the spaces on the board are going to be made up with different products that go with the topics here. So grocery is this section right here, and health and beauty right there. You've got pets right there, clothing, and so on and so forth. Your big ticket items are going to be electronics with a TV and a tablet right there. And you do have matching item cards here that you will be putting into your shopping basket as you move around the board, trying to load up on all of your goodies like so, which looks really cool when you look at it on the table. So anyhow, that is what you get in this game. Let me explain to you how the gameplay is different from regular Monopoly. You are still going to roll a pair of dice and move the number of spaces you roll. So this is still a roll and move game. And if you land on one of the product spaces, you can choose to take that product and put it into your shopping cart. You are not going to pay for it immediately, but you do want to keep in mind how much that product costs, as it is going to be a cost for you at some point later on in the game. So I could choose to take the vitamins, or I could choose to leave them. But if I choose to take them, they are going to stay in my cart, and I have them in my cart. No one can have them unless if, let's say, another player comes along and lands on vitamins. They could pay me $25 straight to take the vitamins from my cart. But they are still going to have to purchase the vitamins for themselves. That $25 is just a fee to me for having it in my cart and them taking it from me. So that is something that can happen. But anyhow, that's what happens if you land on a product space. And when you get to the free parking space in the corner, you can see that there's a checkout icon. Or when you get to go, you can check out. And so what happens there is you immediately stop your movement, and you are going to pay for as many items as you want to or can afford in your shopping cart, paying the total of the price right here. And you will then gain a number of victory point tokens here as your savings. And so the vitamins here will give you 1 victory point token. Now, if you were to have 2 of the same color, let's say I've got makeup and vitamins, then I get to double it. So I would get 2 points for vitamins, and you would also get 2 points for the makeup as well. And so that is a way to get additional points in this game. These tokens right here are very important. These are the target circle dot tokens, and there are going to be a number of these scattered throughout the course of the board. When players land on the circle space right here, they draw at random from the pile over here, placing it on any space that matches the colors. So this would be light blue or the dark blue spaces. And you get to pick them up anytime you land on that space. And what this does is when you check out, you can attach this to any one of your items that are in your cart that you are checking out. Doesn't matter which one, but it will give you double the points. So the TV here will give me 6 points if I played it. Or some of these tokens do give you triple the points. So that is a way to maximize your winnings or your savings points. Now, if you have the red card, and the red card gets passed around throughout the course of the game to anybody who rolls a 1. If you roll a 1 in this game, you get to take the red card. And what the red card allows you to do, it says it here on the back, that when you check out, you get to double your total savings. So whatever you are buying when you check out, the points at the bottom, you get to add them all up, and then you double it. So that is another way to get a lot of these point tokens over here. This will continue throughout the course of the game. If you do land on a deal dash space, you're going to move to which space is the closest that has one of those target dot circles on it. Chance will get you a chance card. Community chest will get you the community chest cards. And those are all very Target-esque, have a lot of things to do with shopping in Target. You do still have your jail and just visiting, as well as your go to jail space, as in a normal Target or Monopoly. The game ends whenever you place out all of the target dot circles. Everyone will get one last turn to get as many products as they can into their shopping cart, because at the end you have one last buying round where you buy whatever you can afford in your cart, count up whoever has the most savings tokens, and that is going to be your winner. That is how you play Monopoly Target Edition. Let's go back up top and share our thoughts on this one. And we're back, and right now you're seeing some gameplay footage of Sam and I and 2 of our friends doing a 4-player game of Monopoly Target Edition. And we're going to share our thoughts on this one as you watch us play. So Sam, table presence, you see this out on the table. It's got Target all over it, the bullseye dog, the Target bullseye logo. It's even got a red card in it, the shopping carts. I mean, what do you think as far as table presence with this game?
I mean, I think everybody knows I'm not a fan of Monopoly. Just not. Don't ask me to play.
You and me both.
Yeah, but I am a big fan of Target, so I was willing to give it a try. And this is not your typical Monopoly game at all. This is totally different. I love the little Target baskets that you get. I was the Starbucks cup because obviously it's enjoyable. It's so much fun. It's a very quick game too. Yeah. But the setup is just you feel like you're in Target.
Yeah, as far as the what they were trying to go for, you're on a Target run. I mean, if that's the theme, Monopoly's pretty much a themeless game in general, but if that's the theme with this, I mean, they hit the nail right on the head, right? I mean, you do feel like you're on a Target run and you're shopping as you pick these items up and you put them in your little shopping cart.
And then you can stack.
You can stack the savings and you can get the red card and get double your savings when you check out. I mean, it's kind of cool. Yeah. It's kind of cool how this game, works together and makes you feel like you're
and you get
Target.
to put the items back so that somebody else can buy them, which is much similar to shopping. There's not just one of everything, unlike regular Monopoly where once that real estate's gone, it's gone.
And I like that. I like that because one of the biggest issues with regular Monopoly was that if you were the first player, you had a huge advantage over everyone else because in in all likelihood, everybody is going to roll similar, and so you're always going to maintain an advantage over the rest of the field because you're going to get first dibs on all the properties. And once you buy a property, it's gone in regular Monopoly. And it stays that way the whole game. In this, you're only holding it until you check out. And then somebody could even buy it off of you, so you don't necessarily own it. It is just in your cart.
Yeah.
So I do think that mechanic works a lot better. I think the idea that you are trying to not necessarily have a monopoly of property, hence the name Monopoly, but you are trying to get the best deals and wanting to check out at the most strategic, opportune time, actually adds some strategy into a game that is mostly just about luck and rolling well and getting the big name properties.
Yeah. And they really did think it through. You can put whatever you want in your basket, and then you get it to checkout, and you may not have money for everything, just like at Target. So you have to put stuff back. We've all done it.
I did not think about that, but you're exactly right, I suppose. This game is real life in that sense. You can't buy everything. That's pretty funny. Now, I don't want to go over the moon with this. It is still Monopoly in the sense that it is still highly luck dependent. It is still roll and move. It is still, all about who can land on the right spaces more often that is likely going to be the winner in this game. But
it's quick, and it's enjoyable, and it's fun, and everyone knows how to play Monopoly. So in general, there's not a whole lot of explaining beforehand.
Right.
So
yeah, it's a very simple, it's not going to take a paradigm shift in understanding how this game works. And it's one that people are going to see and be like, oh, cool, Target. A lot of people are going to want to sit down and play this if you are playing with a lot of non-gamers.
Yeah.
If you were to bring this to a game night and, you're playing with some people who don't typically play big name games, you could put this out on the table and say, hey, I know you probably have heard of Monopoly, but let's check out Monopoly Target Edition. And people probably would go for that, I would think. Now, if you're playing with strictly gamers, I think, you're going to have a little bit more convincing to do because it has the word Monopoly on it. And that's going to have a bad rap to it. But you see these baskets, you see the red card, you see the playing pieces. The components are a nice draw to this. It's going to get people to want to sit down and take a closer look at it.
Yeah.
So I was pleasantly surprised with this version of Monopoly. What do you think?
Yeah, honestly, when Lance brought it home, I was like, I'm not playing a Monopoly game. I'm not. But then we played it with our friends, and it really is. I think part of it is we all know Monopoly lasts forever.
Yeah.
In this case, this is done in 30 minutes, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say that's about right.
Yeah. So it's totally different than regular Monopoly in that aspect as well. So
yeah. So let's get into our pros and cons on this, Sam. Monopoly Target Edition. What were the pros that you thought as a non-gamer?
It's definitely the presence is really cool. I love the baskets. I love the components. I really, like we mentioned earlier, I like the fact that the items go back on the table, so everybody kind of gets a chance. It literally can be anybody's game at the end.
Yeah, the board resets itself often throughout the course of the game.
And like I said earlier as well, it is like Target, where you get to the checkout, and if you don't have enough money for it, you're not really penalized for that. You just get what you want and put the rest back. It's just I don't want to say relaxing, but it's not a super stressful game.
Yeah,
and that's not typically what's associated with Monopoly.
Yeah, you're not going to get teed off with your friends in this one like you would with regular Monopoly. So,
yeah, for sure.
Any cons when it comes to this one?
It's Monopoly. It's roll and play, and in that it's not super interactive. It's not, it is very thematic as far as Target's concerned, but it's a regular board game. We're not over the moon about it, but as far as Monopoly goes, this is my top one for sure. I think the only two we own are this one and Monopoly Socialism. So if that tells you where we land on the Monopoly charts.
Yeah. So scale of 1 to 10, love to hate. What do you give this one?
This is a hard one because I really feel like, if you're rating it along with other Monopolies, this is like a 10. But as far as like, do I think how often we play it and stuff, I'd probably give it somewhere around like a 7.7.
Wow.
It's enjoyable to play with friends. I want people to play it. You know, it's not something me and Lance are going to play by ourselves, I don't think. But it's one that I'm like, yeah, if you're coming over, this is a great starter game.
Yeah. Now, folks at home, if you're anything like me, if you're a gamer and you hear that 7.7, you might be thinking, wow, that's really high when you're talking about a Monopoly game. And that's probably because as a gamer, I don't know that I would ever really sit down and play this with gamers. I don't know that this would be the one that I would say, hey, let's bring this out on a game night because it's got Monopoly on it. But if I'm playing with non-gamers, I think, yes, that would be... it would be something that works real well, and in that regard, I think it would be a high score.
Yeah.
From strictly a gamer perspective, I would probably still give this a score of maybe 6.3, 6.4, and that's just in terms of games in general. This is still highly luck dependent. It's still roll and move, and you know that generally is not the greatest aspects when you're talking about games. But the theme is cool. The components are out of this world. You know, when we're talking Monopoly too, you know, and all that really works real well for it. It has the table presence, and you're gonna get a lot of people that are interested in this, and so that, you know, it increases the marks in my opinion.
Yeah. I think when I'm talking about my scoring as well, I'm always thinking, is it easy to understand and is the theme pretty cool so people would get excited about it? Because I do think of, you know, we have a couple of friends that come over. Would this be something, I hate taking forever to explain a game to somebody. If it sometimes I may understand it, but other non-gamers may not. That's going to go on the shelf. I don't want to waste the time and get people all confused. This is easy, it's fast, it's enjoyable, so it's going to rank higher for me. I see myself bringing it out with other friends because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is our thoughts on Monopoly Target Edition, and as you could guess, it's available at Target. I don't know that it's available anywhere else. So go check it out. It's from Hasbro, and we like it. It's one that works real well, if I could say that, for us and our family. So go check it out.
Make sure to like and subscribe and push the bell button so you get notifications of all our new content.
I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.